showed the game. First of all, a lot of people are probably wondering what you showed today. Was that running on the PlayStation 4?
So it was actually running off of a PC that's pretty much geared to be like a PlayStation 4 in terms of power.
Right.
So we have it running on the PlayStation 4 back at the office, but I mean right now, since it's still work in progress for the effort there, it was easier to use a PC.
Well, I got to say, it looks phenomenal. You showed daytime as opposed to nighttime last year. I mean, I think gamers have so many questions about this game because when you showed it, it was really one of the genuine surprises of E3 last year. Tell us, I mean, what makes this game different than, you know, in Assassins that everyone loves? I mean, it feels, you know, similar when the gameplay, I look at it, but it's different. I mean, tell us, what is the genesis of this game? What makes it so unique?
So it's been 4 years we worked on this, right?
I heard a rumor once it was originally a driver game?
No,
is that true?
No.
Not true. Okay.
No, our mandate from the beginning was to create, you know, something new, something fresh.
Yep.
You're not just going to do, you know, what we've been playing for 10 years. So we didn't want to do like another shooter or something that already existed. We wanted to do something different. Yeah. So that's what we started working on. So for us, in a sense, we were, even though there was no next generation platforms then, already trying to do a next generation game from a content perspective, right? So we're trying to create a new type of experience in terms of what you could do with the city. So in Watch Dogs, you cannot just shoot bullets, you can of course, or you can't just drive vehicles, you can of course, but you can interact with the city, you can hack with any computer within the city, and that's something we've never done in a real open world. So you can hack, you know, a smartphone, or you can hack the whole surveillance system in the city or traffic system. Basically, everything's running on a computer, right? So you can hack all of that.
I mean, it's such a cool idea. Tell us about who is the character that you play in this game?
So it's Aiden Pierce, that's his name, and he comes from some of the neighborhoods of Chicago. So, you know, you can use a gun, you can drive vehicles, you can climb on rooftops. That's a little bit of assassin there if you want. But of all things, he's obsessed with surveillance. The guy wants to protect people close to him, and he's just crazy for surveillance. And the player is going to grow that obsession through the game, and that's how he's going to take control of more and more computers within the city. Because when you control those computers, you control the information stored on them. So you can basically invade the privacy of everyone within Chicago. And what we showed in the demo there, so this was not a mission, by the way, what we showed to there. It was just the open world, and the player just exploring the open world, which is a bit scary because typically we show missions when we show demos, and this was just, you know, free roaming, what we call just exploring the city. And so, you know, you saw how he discovered some information on people, and that's what led him to, you know, chasing that guy down.
Yeah. Now, at E3 last year, you guys hinted that there was some kind of connectivity online, with sort of someone else watching you or friends. How is that all going to work with the various different partners? Yeah.
So connectivity is definitely important for us, and there's two ways that work. And we're not saying everything yet, but I think I can make things a lot clearer today.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
A lot of questions.
So in both demos we showed of Watch Dogs, we teased on the fact that there was other players involved while you were playing from what seems to be single player, right?
Right.
And basically what we're trying to do is start blending the line between offline and online, you know, between multiplayer and single player. When you're playing an action adventure game, you want to do an epic adventure, the last thing you want to do is, you know, go in a lobby and play capture the flag when you're in multiplayer.
Somebody get in the way of sort of the story almost.
Exactly. So the multiplayer will also be happening when you play in single player. You will cross paths with other players. So
they're not two different modes? It's kind of all one game?
So, you know, there are fully multiplayer contacts, but we will have players crossing paths even in single player. So what we showed in the demo today is throughout, you know, that player just doing free roaming in the city, there was another player who had a contract to tail him, to basically steal information from him, and the whole time he was there. You know, you couldn't necessarily see him. Sometimes he was through cameras, sometimes he was physically there. And at the end, the first player saw him and basically, you know, countered him.
So how do you avoid it being annoying if you just want to enjoy the story yourself? So like, I don't want someone chasing me, I just want to play the game.
So obviously we'll give, you know, control to the player to manage that, but we found ways of having player interacted that don't lead to griefing. We want, you know, we want it to be a positive kind of experience. So that's, you know, that's what we're working on.
Well, that's really cool. So that's gonna, you know, Sony talked about the share feature on PlayStation 4, the ability to share your videos and things like that. I mean, it ties in very nicely to the theme of surveillance. Are you guys thinking about sort of how to use that in an interesting way? Yeah.
So what's interesting is that, you know, we've had those you know, connectivity, immersion, interactivity were core to, you know, to the pillars of Watch Dogs, and when we were presented with the PlayStation 4, there was a, you know, an interesting alignment, you know, in what they were doing. So definitely we're looking at all those things, and we're trying to see how we can push them within the game, kind of push the experience of Watch Dogs with those things.
Now, you know, we've seen a lot of kind of running, sneaking, you know, hacking, things like that. How far does the gameplay extend in Watch Dogs? I mean, are we going to have, you know, big, you know, vehicle chases and things like that? I mean, is it a true open world?
Yeah, it's a huge city of Chicago. You can drive any vehicle in it, and you can go, you know, very high speed. You'll have chases. You've seen already foot chases. Yep. You've seen shooting. So there's, you know, Aiden Pierce has a variety of weapons he can use. Yeah. But what makes him special, he can mix, in all those contexts, he can mix in his ability to control the computers in the city. And that makes all of those things that we've played before new again, different. And I think you saw that in the demos.
I can reprogram anything I want, right?
Sorry?
I can reprogram anything I want.
Yeah, exactly. And basically, you know, what we're discovering as we're building the city, sometimes we build a neighborhood and we realize, oh wait, that's run by a computer. Now we need to make it dynamic and controllable. And as we build the city, we add in this gameplay, basically, you know, built in.
So the hacking obviously is going to be a big part of
the game
experience. Yeah. Tell us about the hacking gameplay. I mean, how do you make that interesting?
Well, I mean, you know, in an open world, it's a lot about the surprises that happens, but also the plans that you can make. The surprises that happens, but also the plans that you can make, right? So, for example, in the demo, you saw how the cops are coming in. That's something we've seen before. Okay, cops are converging on my position. How will I deal with it? And, you know, in the demo, he used bollards to stop a cop car. He also stopped a train and climbed on it to flee. Well, for example, that train, I've seen hundreds of ways it's been used by testers in the office. You know, in some things you wouldn't believe to cut the shooting lines from people shooting at him. You'll stop the train right at the moment that happened there. You can stop the train anywhere. The people in it will react. Some will try calling the cops. If you go in there, they'll recognize you. They'll say, you know, what happened here? You'll feel panic. There's going to be digital boards in the train. You can hack those too. So this is what we're trying to create, a world where things are really simulated, so you can make smart plans and act on them.
Wow, I can't wait to see where you guys go with this game.
Yeah, well,
it's
can't wait to show more.
To see, yeah, that you guys can officially kind of talk about it now. Yeah. So are you saying when this game is coming out?
Well, it's at the end of this year, so in times for the holidays, for sure.
Excellent, all right. And will that be, obviously it's going to come for PlayStation 4, is it going to come for PlayStation 3 and other platforms?
Yeah, on all the platforms. You know, we've officially announced it for PlayStation 3, for Xbox 360, PC, and the Wii U, and now we're adding in the PlayStation 4.
Wii U as well, so this is a massive project for you guys.
Yeah, it is a huge project.
It's so exciting to see that you guys continue with Assassin's Creed, but then add on this brand new next generation IP. One last question I'll ask you is, what do you think, you know, obviously the graphics look fantastic, but what are you able to do on the PlayStation 4 for this game that you can't do on PlayStation 3? If it's going to ship on all these systems, why, if I'm a PlayStation 3 gamer, why do I want to upgrade for PlayStation 4 to play this game?
I mean, I don't think the PlayStation 4 is a one-trick pony. It's on all our pillars. So definitely, you know, we're pushing the graphics. It's going to be, you know, even more immersive. But we're pushing the interactivity, so the amount of people in the street, the detail of their eye, the refinement of their reaction, their variety, the density of cars, and even in the connectivity, we're going to be able to push further. So I think it's really like a magnifying glance on all of our features, which is pretty cool.
It's awesome. I am so excited about Watch Dogs. Definitely one of the hits of the show tonight, and we can't wait to hear more about it. So Dominic,
thanks for having me.